The Indian Parliament has been thrown into a second day of turmoil as the sharp political row broke out over national security, trade deals and the right to speak on the floor of the House. The flashpoint coming in from the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi's attempt to quote from an unpublished memoir of the former army chief on the 2020 India-China border crisis, reportedly. The government accused him of misleading the House and belittling the armed forces, triggering a huge uproar, multiple adjournments in the Lok Sabha. 8 Congress MPs have been suspended from the session over raising slogans and throwing torn paper bits into the well of the House.
It is very unfortunate that leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi ji is not allowed to speak. From the beginning itself, the first defense minister Rajnath Singh ji was disturbing, then Amit Shah ji jumped in, then Retd speaking. Rahul ji is mentioning about a book of an army chief, Naravane. Naravane is not a traitor. He is a celebrated soldier of India and he is the army general. And the army general's book and his words, why it should not be quoted in Parliament?
Inside the House, the row deepened when Rahul Gandhi said he had authenticated the magazine article based on General Naravane's unpublished memoir, and he questioned why he was not being allowed to speak on the India-China border issue. The chair objected, moved to the next speakers, and the Lok Sabha was adjourned amid chaos. The lower house was adjourned within minutes of convening this morning and later suspended till 2 p.m. even as the motions for election to parliamentary committees were being taken up. The political heat also rose further outside the House, with Rahul Gandhi launching a blistering attack on Prime Minister Modi over the India-US trade deal, calling it a sellout. He alleged the Prime Minister is compromised and is acting under immense pressure. He claimed the deal, which was stalled for months, was suddenly cleared without any real change and linked the move to the Epstein files and the ongoing Adani case. Warning of serious consequences, Rahul Gandhi said that farmers and workers would pay the price for the government's actions.
जो मैं जानता हूं नरेंद्र मोदी जानते हैं. नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने कल शाम उस डील को साइन कर दिया. नरेंद्र मोदी जी पर प्रेशर है, भयंकर प्रेशर है, और नरेंद्र मोदी जी का जो इमेज का गुब्बारा है, जो हजारों करोड़ रुपए लेकर बनाया गया था, वो फूट सकता है.
In fact, Union Minister Piyush Goyal, who was supposed to speak on the India-US trade deal, fired back at Rahul Gandhi, accusing the opposition leader of misleading people.
मैं पूरी तरीके से निंदा करता हूं राहुल गांधी जी और उनके सभी पार्टी और मित्र पक्ष के नेताओं का, जो इस प्रकार की ओछी सोच, नकारात्मक सोच फैलाने का पाप कर रहे हैं. वो भारत का उज्जवल भविष्य नहीं चाहते.
Elon Musk has taken another major step to unify his sprawling empire of companies. SpaceX, the rocket and satellite firm, is merging with xAI, the AI startup founded by Musk, in a deal that could reshape both the space and the AI industries. Musk's space exploration technologies, better known as SpaceX, has officially acquired his AI company xAI in what experts are calling a record-setting deal. Now, under the terms of that transaction, xAI will be brought under the SpaceX umbrella, combining AI and space ambitions into one company. The combined company, valued at roughly $1.25 trillion, making it one of the most valuable corporate entities in the world. Before the merger, SpaceX alone was valued at about $1 trillion, while xAI carried an estimated valuation of $250 billion. And as part of the preparations for a potential public listing, shares in the merged entity are expected to be priced at around $527 each. If finalized as structured, the transaction would rank as the largest merger and acquisition deal in history, surpassing the previous record set by Vodafone's takeover. In fact, Musk's strategy appears to be about uniting AI and space technology, a bold vision that could influence how computing and data centers operate in the future. Musk and company executives have talked about deploying AI data centers in orbit, powered by solar energy and supported by Starlink satellites. And by bringing these technologies together, the combined company could challenge AI and cloud giants like Google, Meta. In fact, this fusion further consolidating many of Musk's ventures, an ecosystem some analysts have nicknamed the Muskonomy. Musk also leading companies like Tesla, Neuralink, the Boring Company. SpaceX already holds major contracts with NASA, the US Department of Defense and intelligence agencies, which could trigger regulatory scrutiny about governance and national security. The merger also triggering questions about leadership overlap and conflicts of interest, since Musk is at the top of both the companies. The younger generation has always been considered to be smarter than the older one. But now the long climb of human intelligence has hit a sudden vertical drop, it seems, for the first time since records started. Children reportedly are scoring lower on IQ tests than their parents, sparking a global panic in a way over the digital erosion, perhaps, of the human mind. Our next story decoding this for you.
It begins with digital addiction. Before Gen Z learned to read, they learned to swipe. Before boredom could sharpen curiosity, an algorithm filled the gap. Gen Z averages 9 hours daily on screens. This high usage is driven by social media, gaming, and streaming. Experts warn that this constant digital stimulation may be quietly reshaping the brain-shortening attention spans, weakening memory, and dulling problem-solving skills. During the hearing of U.S. Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation, experts explain how the kids have been cognitively stunted by their over-reliance on digital technology in school.
The answer appears to be the tools we are using within schools to drive that learning. Across 80 countries, as Jean was just saying, if you look at the data, once countries adopt digital technology widely in schools, performance goes down significantly, to the point where kids who use computers about 5 hours per day in school for learning purposes will score over 2/3 of a standard deviation less than kids who rarely or never touch tech at school. And that's across 80 countries.
For more than 100 years, human intelligence followed a clear upward path. Each generation scored higher on IQ tests than the one before, a rise known as the Flynn effect. That pattern has now stalled. In some countries, it has reversed. Researchers say Gen Z shows weaker performance in areas such as reading comprehension, mental arithmetic, focus, and logical reasoning, despite spending more years in classrooms than their parents. The paradox is striking. This is the most educated generation on paper, yet one that struggles with sustained thinking. Experts point to digital overload, endless notifications, short-form videos, instant answers replacing effort. When information is always available, the brain stops storing it. Memory becomes external. Thinking becomes reactive. Sleep loss compounds the problem. Studies show Gen Z sleeps less than previous generations, largely due to late-night screen use. Poor sleep directly impacts learning, emotional regulation, and decision-making. Add rising anxiety, social media pressure, and economic uncertainty, and the cognitive load becomes heavier still. However, some critics argue intelligence is changing, not disappearing. Gen Z excels at visual navigation, rapid information scanning, and adapting to new tools. Traditional IQ tests, designed in the age of books and letters, may not fully capture these skills. What looks like lower intelligence may instead be a shift away from deep, linear thinking toward fast, fragmented processing. Gen Z remains a complex mix, highly adaptable, tech-fluent, and socially aware, yet facing unprecedented economic stress, burnout, and now questions about how today's minds are shaped. Whether this marks decline, transformation, or just a shift in skill sets, one thing is clear: the generational IQ story has changed, and the debate is just beginning.